So in these challenging and troubling times that we are facing, that many of us are facing in the world today, we might be pulled to ask questions such as, where is God? What does true love, true faith, and true devotion towards Him look like? What does it really mean to surrender? How can I surrender? And we can reflect on this by actually diving deep into the pastimes of the Lord, and especially the pastimes and the leelas of the Lord's greatest devotees. And one such great devotee of Lord Krishna was actually a sant named Meera Bai. She was here many years ago. She was actually born in Rajasthan into royalty. She was a Rajasthani princess, and when she was a little girl, she was given a doll that was actually a murti of Krishna. And ever since then, she didn't see this murti as a doll. She came to love Krishna and really see Krishna as her husband, as her greatest friend. When she was very young, she was actually married off to a Rajasthani prince who actually died very young. And after that, she faced a lot of adversity from her husband's family, especially from her brother-in-law, father-in-law. They would torment her, they would torture her, she was persecuted, she was ridiculed and mocked for her devotion towards Krishna. They even on one occasion sent poison to kill her, but that when she drank that poison, it actually turned into nectar, and that's how much she was actually protected by Krishna. And she then later left her husband's family, travelled to many places in India, and eventually she came to Dwarka, and actually it was in Dwarka that she merged with Dwarkadish. Dwarkadish is another form of Krishna. She actually merged into his murti. And when people came to hear about her, they realized that she was this great devotee of Lord Krishna. And wherever she went, she was so madly in love with Krishna that she would just continuously sing his glories and speak his glories. And what can we actually really learn from this Leela? Well, no matter how much hardship she faced, no matter what kind of pain that she went through, it never shook her faith. Her faith was never wavered. She had full, complete, unflinching devotion towards Krishna. She knew that Krishna would always be there to protect her. She was very misunderstood by the world. And it was actually from her pain that her love for Krishna grew even more, because she realized that this world around us is actually temporary, it's perishable, and that the only constant in this ever-changing world is actually God, and He is there. And sometimes we may not understand what's kind of going on, and we may not understand why we are having to face so many hardships and difficulties, but there is always a blessing there. There is always a blessing. There is always something that we can actually learn from that experience. So I think one thing that we can really take away from this pastime and this Leela of Meera Bai and her story is that no matter what, we are always protected and we are always loved by God. And that in times of hardship, we can actually seek His shelter and He will be there for us. And we may not always understand in that moment why, but there will always be a reason or a lesson for us to learn. And these difficulties that we face are actually opportunities for us to deepen our faith in God, to really strengthen our relationship with Him. And that's what we should see when we face these difficulties. Thank you. Hare Krishna.